Hello everybody, Megazard X here, and with the power of science and modern technologies that make recording and editing videos possible, I will be reviewing a highly anticipated anime of the season, that being Dr. Stone. This highly experimental anime will cause you to pick your brain and wonder how the world truly works and see the progress of how far we have truly come from the dark Stone Ages. In this video, I'll be going over the plot, some of the hypotheses, over some of the newly founded speculations. So go ahead and pull out your hammock and find a good shade spot underneath the tree, and let's get ready to dive into this review. Now, I hope I don't blow a fuse in trying to get this new review opening started. So science, don't fail me now. Here we go. Ohayo sekai, good morning world. 'So starting with the plot, near the beginning of the episode, we are introduced to the student Taija Oki, who walks up and decides that this exact moment that he's gonna tell Yuzura, the girl he's been in love with for over 5 years, exactly how he feels. Senku takes this news with a grain of salt and questions his competence of why in the world did it take him this long. Senku then offers him a love potion, but Taiju turns it down, and thankfully, because it was just gasoline as a test. Once Taiju confronts Yuzura to confess to her, at that exact moment, a brilliant bright light flashes in the sky, turning everyone in the world into stone. The incident is pure chaos, as cars crash into stone, people, planes, manned by sudden statues, crash into the earth, and people shatter as they are suddenly immobile, stuck in the roads, cars, you name it. Only the human population and apparently sparrows of the earth are affected. A little dog can be seen barking at the end of its leash, wondering why his person isn't walking with him anymore. The people also appear to be aware of what's happening, which seems horrific if you think about it for too long. There is a long montage of Taiju trying to keep himself sane as the years pass by. Thanks to his burning love and passion, it kept his consciousness alive throughout all these years. Eventually, nature takes hold of the earth again, and there is barely any sign of human civilization left. Taiju breaks free of the stone shell that contained him, perfectly preserving him in his mid-teens. He travels out and about looking for Yuzura and finds her at the base of a tree he had seen her at when the light first flashed. He also finds a message carved into the tree next to her head, coaxing him personally to continue down the river. There he meets his own friend Senku Ishigami, who has an incredible proficiency with science. Senku needs Taiju's help with the physical labor, since he lacks the stamina to hunt and forage while trying to find a cure for the petrification that struck humanity down. There is a tragic melancholy weaving through the narrative, because no matter how hard the pair work, you can see fragmented remains of shattered humans being litter the landscape. It's been about 3,700 years since the incident, and the only way they knew that was thanks to Senku, because he was counting the seconds. So Senku desperately wants to revive people and rebuild civilization with science at its core. The world building of Dr. Stone looks to be very interesting, when Senku rattling off a lot of scientific facts to Taiju, who doesn't really understand much of what's being said, but these two have an interesting team chemistry, and they really do work well in hand. So essentially Senku is the brains and Taiju is the bronze. Senku's character as a whole is very interesting in the fact that he's pretty much a brainiac at its core, and he also has a very cocky nature about him, since he has so much knowledge within the science field. We can see examples of this whenever he states that he is so confident in something that he is 10 billion% sure. It's also pretty amazing to think that in order to keep Senku's consciousness alive, and also to know what time and season it is approximately, so he would be able to depetrify he wouldn't be able to depetrify during the middle of winter and have an instant game over is quite mind-blowing. This just goes to show how competent Senku really is, and shows how it's possible for him to rebuild civilization from the Stone Age again. Briefly discussing about the animation and the art style real quick, I'm really liking the style and how they are able to fully capture nature at its core. There is above average style and backgrounds and a bit less static animation that you usually will see within a few shows today. You can literally freeze frame up just about at any second and see something pretty unique, especially with how nature's reclamation of the earth is rendered. One other last interesting note to point out, at the end of the episode, they actually put out a disclaimer stating this is a work of fiction, but the plants and animals and production methods to describe are based on reality. Foraging and creating things on your own accord is extremely dangerous and in some cases illegal. Please do not imitate without expertise. So the fact that they had to go and put this disclaimer out there goes to show that they are really putting into research when it comes to making this scientific anime, in which we don't really get to see many these days at all. Most of the time it's usually we see a huge genre of fantasies or slice of lives though, but it's a good treat every now and then whenever we do get to see an anime that's based around science like this. So that is all from my first review of episode 1 of Dr. Stone. So I hope you really enjoyed it. If you hadn't already done so, make sure to hit that like button if you like this video, and hit that subscribe button and that bell to keep up to date on all things anime that I'm currently reviewing, along with any other Nintendo gaming topics I feel like discussing as well. So make sure to tune in next time on my review for episode 2, King of the Stone World. So until whatever video I make next, see ya.
ファンタジーに科学で勝ってやんぞ。そそるぜこれは。